This week on Movie Mayhem Live, we review the movie Alpha, where 20,000 years ago, man met his best friend. Somehow I don't think it happened exactly like this. Mark Wahlberg is interviewed by Gino Salomone, who finally joins the podcast with Mark's new movie Mao 22, and it's action-packed. Ken Joeng and Awkafina are interviewed by Bonnie Lawfer Krebs about their new movie, Crazy Rich Asians, and it's insane. And of course, we want you on the program. All you got to do is click on that Contact Us box at the very top of this Facebook page, and you can join the show. And speaking of the show, it's time to go to this little river town in Monaca in Beaver County, PA. It's Movie Mayhem Live.
Which is 3 movies a week, up to 12 movies a month for $20, which is still an incredible deal. Yeah, like they didn't screen Alpha for me, so right after this, I'm going to break in my my A-list membership and go check it out.
I'm sensing class action lawsuit. What do you think, Gino?
Well, I think, Jeff, if you send me $1,000 a year, I will get you to as many movies as you want.
$20 a month was my cap right now. So, but I saw like 30. I saw 30 movies for $20 because I was a movie pass member for 2 months. But now after, I just don't trust them anymore. So it's dead. And their stock opens today. I think they were like what, 28 cents. Yeah, they're dead. They're going to be dead. Now they're offering their members 3 movies of their choice and their time. How's that going to work? It's ridiculous. Go to AMC if it's in your area and get the A-list. It's really cool.
There you go. You heard it first. All right, first up is the movie Alpha. Let's take a look. All right, that's about all you need to know. Okay, basically, it's a real simple story. It takes place 20,000 years ago, and it's all about how man and his best friend, how they domesticated the very first dog or whatever, how the story happened. And you know, it's beautiful. First of all, it was in IMAX 3D, and it was really impressive looking. But I actually thought I was going into an animated movie. So when the movie first started going, I'm like, wow, these graphics are really good. And all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't animated. This is live action. But it is beautiful. The story's real quick. It's like I think an hour and a half long. But you know, we've seen that before, you know, and I didn't buy the way they were doing it. Like we're supposed to believe that they're not Indians, but this tribe, and they're all going to hunt the buffalo, and this guy's all on his own, and you could see how everything was going 100.
You know, Chuck, this movie was supposed to come out in January. The studio had pushed it all the way to August. And the first trailer, if you go back and try to find the first one, they picture it as this action adventure family film, and even with like the tagline, how man's best friend and mankind joined together. Almost sounds like a romantic comedy, right?
Yeah.
But they had a marketing nightmare with this movie. So they put it here at the very end of the summer. And what I understand, some of the reviews coming back, is that it's a great family adventure. So, I mean, can you take kids to it?
Yeah, I am kind of being hard on it, but I did. It's a good movie. I liked it. I've seen it before, you know, and I didn't buy it, but it was a good story. It was good 3D. I don't know if I needed to see it in IMAX, but you're right. We are short on good family films. So you're right there. I'm actually going to give it like a B-. So I don't even know if there we go, B-. So
B-.
yeah, go see it. It's good, but it's not great. So next up.
Jeff, I have news for you, by the way.
Yes.
If this movie does well, they're going to make a movie called Beta, and it's about Chuck, our own Chuck, and his sheep.
Hey, that is not an authorized story. I told you they did not have the rights.
But that's the kid from and the kid who stars in Alpha is the kid from Paranorman.
He is?
Yeah, he does the voice for Paranorman, McPhee. Yeah.
So
he's all grown up now.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. So.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. Are you seeing it in IMAX 3D or?
No, I'm not seeing anything in 3D if I don't have to. And they stopped doing screenings for us in 3D like a good year and a half ago, which we love because it's just the worst. I'm sorry. It's like wearing sunglasses while watching a movie. It's the worst.
Yeah. All right, next up is Mao 22. Let's take a look. All right, Gino, why don't you give us like the 30-second plot summary, if you can, tell us what this movie's about.
Thanks, by the way, for warning me about that in advance. Yes, well, Mark Wahlberg is the head of a bunch of CIA operatives whose job is to go in and either take somebody out or save somebody. Now they have a hot commodity. There's somebody that they need to get out who has important information, and that's what this movie is about.
Okay, all right. Now you actually got to sit down and you interviewed the entire cast, and we're gonna actually you got to talk to Mark Wahlberg. So let's take a look.
Oh wait, bud.
I'm good. How about you?
Tired but good.
This ending, this movie itself, let's not even say that because I don't want to have people looking toward it, but I love something that's fresh, innovative, with a twist.
Mm-hmm. No, that's what we want to do. We want to do something character-driven, cool, and different, and certainly different for Pete and I after, doing, 3 movies all based on real-life tragedies. So to be able to just kick up and get crazy was a lot of fun for us.
Is this character like you in any way?
Yeah, I get pretty intense. I get pretty laser focused, like my character. 99.9% of the time. He's 100%. But yeah, I always try to find and draw from different things in my own personality.
I thought that because there is no one more laser focused. To be able to do the movies like this, live the life you lead with so many different things, you have to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know what? Putting in the work, doing the preparation, it allows you to go out there and perform at the highest level.
How proud were you of the rest of the cast? Some great casting.
Fantastic. Rhonda is absolutely great. Lauren is fantastic. Iko, we all knew was a star from The Raid, but to be able to now come in and do English-speaking films as well, really, really strong all around.
He was so impressive. Does he talk to you? Does he ask for advice from you?
He would always be worried, like if Pete would throw something at him and want him to improvise. And it's nerve-wracking, doing a film in another language. I've done it where I've had to speak chunks of a foreign language, and it's nerve-wracking. You want to be prepared and never really getting thrown curveballs the way Pete does. But I just told him, I said, Iko, we have you here for a reason. You are fantastic. Take your time. We got all day. Don't worry about it. Relax. Because he started. It's the only time he got a little nervous, and I was like, don't worry about it. We're here.
I like a movie with a pace that, as an audience, we're sitting there feeling anxiety because of what's going on the screen. Is that a more exhausting thing to make than a movie that's just like a character study of any kind, of just two guys?
Yeah, talking? You feel the intense. We are that intense on the set. In order to convey that and make the audience feel it, you gotta live and exist in it too. But that being said, we're having fun at the same time. But no, we want to make sure that people are going to sit down for the opening sequence and be like, whoa, what's going on here? And then never want to get up to go to the bathroom or get a snack because you're going to miss something. And It moves pretty quick. It's a great paced movie.
Right. When you have a group like this, you become kind of a group. Who's the one who breaks the ice, keeps everybody loose?
I'd have to say that I kind of set the tone and the pace, and and also Jimmy being the leader and me being the producer on the film. But it was very collaborative, and we want everybody to feel comfortable so they could do their best work. So kind of create an environment of collaboration and teamwork.
I'm ready for number 2. Thank you.
Appreciate it, bro. Pleasure.
See you.
Here's what I don't understand. Gino is a good-looking man. Why don't you want to be on TV, Gino? You're such a great interviewer, but yet...
You're great. Get rid of the grade. We're not there yet.
Oh, we're not?
No.
No, we had not planned. We had not planned, so I only had one camera for you. Next time there'll be 2, I promise.
Okay, all right. I didn't wait. Why? We're having a bee problem here. Hold on, we got to call a pesticide. What is that, a minus? No, get rid of the minus. It's live TV. Okay, C minus. What is going on here? Okay, there we go. We're clear. We didn't have Gino's side. Okay, I'm going to go first because my wife and we saw this last night. It was fresh. At first I was really confused. I love Peter Berg. Huge fan of his work. Even stuff that people don't like, I'm a huge fan of. I was a little complicated, and it started to come together. But this movie's like an hour and a half, nonstop action and violence. My biggest problem was, once you figure out what's going on, is in the case of your main hero is unlikable, and it's not a case of like a Walter White type of situation on Breaking Bad. This guy's an a-hole, and he never redeems himself. He has one redeemable quality, and I think that's his loyalty. And I'm not, obviously, you don't want to give away any spoilers or anything, but he's very loyal when the time comes. But he's not likable. So I had that grinding against me the entire movie. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it moved at a quick pace. The action was good, and once you figure out what's happening, uh, then it was for me. My wife, same way. She was like, it was really confusing, but I liked it. What did you think, Jeff?
Well, first of all, the title of the movie, Mile 22, and as it unraveled, I thought to myself, I've seen this before. Of course, being the Richard Donner fan, 16 blocks is basically the same plot because he
Yeah.
has to get Mos Def to the courthouse in 16 blocks while all these other cops and people are trying to stop him. They're trying to get the operative to the airport to get him out of there within in 22 miles.
Well,
So
wait a minute, Jeff. I'm going to stop you right there. Okay, that movie they went 16 blocks, and this movie they went 22 blocks. It's entirely different.
Yes, because they keep getting bogged down, and these action sequences, these firefights like this kept going on and on and on. I love Mark Wahlberg, don't get me wrong, but his character reminded me of Riggs from Lethal Weapon. That psycho kind of professional that gets in your face.
Riggs.
Yeah, and slapping chocolate cake out of people's hands and everything. It's just so the thing is, you didn't have any character development. I didn't understand Wahlberg's character while everyone else had a purpose, but what was his? Just being an operative. What gave him the right to speak like that? And also going up against his superiors.
Whoa.
I didn't buy it, though.
He was like autistic in a way that he focused his intense focus made him an a-hole. He didn't have any feelings.
I didn't see it as intense focus. I saw it as demanding and whining is what I saw. Okay, that's how I saw it. And they give the backstory of him during the opening credits. So the movie became bogged down in just action sequence after action sequence. And you're like, get to the damn airport already,
Yeah. I'm going to see if I can mute his mic. So Gino, no, I'm like, okay, do you not agree with me, Gino? His, like, it's not autistic, but his problem that he has made him so great at his job that he had no personality and he was able to intensely focus. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, I agree because you can't have a diet of all action. You need to care, and we weren't given that opportunity to care. I think we needed to really have a stake in him, and we didn't. He's the leader of this movie. Now, Ronda Rousey, fantastic. When she gives that mean look, I want to run out of the room like a schoolgirl, screaming.
Yeah.
But she didn't get enough screen time. We needed more her and less of Lauren Cohan, who had this awful backstory where she's like using the phone and she's this dark ops kind of.
She was my favorite part of the movie. I loved her character. I thought
she was this dark ops operative who's trying to have a home life with children. It didn't make any sense whatsoever. And Ronda Rousey, we needed more of her doing her thing. She had barely any screen time. And also when he was talking about Eco, he was fantastic.
Yeah,
he was the best part
I
of the
think
movie.
we needed, I think she was fantastic. I loved her story. I loved it, everything from her trying to use her mom to save her life, and I just thought she was tough, and the way they left it, I can't say anything.
Okay, don't say it.
I won't, but
that's what I liked about it most.
Yeah.
I like that it told the story in a different way than we expect.
Right. So now, Gino, I got to go straight to you now, because do you disagree with Jeff about Lauren Cohan's character? Because I liked her character a lot.
I was not crazy about her character.
I hate you both. I don't know what your problem is.
I'll tell you what was fantastic about this film, and I wish the movie was about that, was the Overwatch team with John Malkovich. I loved his character. I loved all the different personalities that were getting you through traffic, taking out targets with drones. That was so fascinating to see that team work and get together at the beginning of the film and towards the end. So I was like more fascinated with the technology and what the Overwatch team was doing than what was going on in the field. I thought it was backwards.
Okay, I liked the character. The only character I didn't like was the main character, which actually brought it down a notch for me. But and saying nothing against his performance, I just needed something likable about him. I loved her. You're right. I loved Overwatch. I want to see more. It was just a little confusing. Gino, what are your thoughts on the film?
Well, I think they're setting up obviously for a second. I don't think they're going to be able to get there.
Really? Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to give it, I'm going to have to say this is like a B- for me. See if it works now. There we go. B- for me.
Yay.
Jeff, I have a feeling you didn't like it. What is your grade?
No, I like because it came in an hour and a half. It was quick. It was fast. I think it's going to satisfy the diehard action fans.
So,
but it was,
a B?
I felt empty. No, I give it a C. I give it a C, including Peter Berg's cameo as the husband.
Yeah, I always feel like my wife, who doesn't really follow movies or know anything about movies, I have to lean in and go, "That's the director." Battleship. I love battleships.
I do too. I love it.
I know.
Chuck,
Exactly.
does he have every movie? Could we name a movie and Jeff is going to end up pulling it up and showing it to
Okay,
us?
he not only does he have every movie, he's got every action figure, every bobblehead. He's got everything. He's got it all within his house. That entire studio behind him, you can't even see it. Where's it? It's motorized. He can pull the
Four walls.
Gino, give me a rating for Mile 22.
I'm going to fall in the middle of both of you, a C+.
Oh, you got to be kidding me! I thought you liked it a lot more than that.
There were things I did like, but not enough. Sorry.
All right, so we're going to take Mile 22 off
We
the
love
board.
you, Mark. We love you, Mark.
All right, next up is some Crazy Rich Asians. Okay, first off the bat, horrible, horrible, horrible trailer. It sickens me when they just take and show you the entire movie in the trailer. So I'm going to get that right off the bat. Well, what do you got there? What's he doing?
It's not a horrible trailer. I love the trailer for that movie. Absolutely. Do I set up the movie or what?
No, well, yeah, why don't you go ahead and set up the movie?
Crazy Rich Asians, based on the best-selling novel. It's a trilogy, actually. Stars Constance Wu, who has a boyfriend she's been dating for about a year, who has no idea of what his family's like. So she finds out that not only is his family rich, they're crazy rich. One of the wealthiest families in Asia, like a dynasty kind of rich family, all real estate moguls. And so she goes over to Singapore for this wedding of the family and finds all the family members, all the opulence. It's just like the Great Gatsby meets Crazy Rich Asians. And the movie has this attitude like it's a musical. It has a great score to it. It bounces along. It's funny. It's romantic. It's just, you see all how the other half live, the billionaires of the world. And it's also being lauded as this major Asian American actors, they get their own movie. And there's been criticism with that too. I thought this was a uniquely American film. Even in the movie, Michelle Yeoh's like, oh, she's Chinese American. So there's like that difference between old school and the old country and being an American Asian. So I thought this movie was so much fun. It just moved along. And I hear the trailer, I see the commercial, I'm smiling. I had a great time.
Yeah. All right. I didn't ask you to review it. I asked you to sum it up.
Oh,
I swear
sorry.
I'm going to put you on a timer. I swear. All right. So normally joining us is Bonnie Lawford Krebs. We got an email from her.
You've got mail.
Let's check out.
Hey guys, I'm so sorry that I can't be there with you this week. I'm actually in New York and I'm going to be talking to the stars of Operation Final. So I'll have that for you in a few weeks. Oscar Isaac, everybody. Woo! Star Wars, man. But today we're talking about Crazy Rich Asians, which I really, really loved. And I had the opportunity to talk with some of the cast. I sat down though with Ken Jeong, funny man Ken Jeong, who is hysterical, and Awkafina, who you guys might remember from Ocean's 8. She's going to be huge. She's actually my new girl crush. We love Awkafina. The two of them had amazing chemistry in the room together, and I spoke to them about what the chemistry was like when they all got on set. Let's have a listen.
What I loved most about this movie is everybody just looked like, they were having such a good time, but very close. Was the bonding instant?
Yeah, it was. It was instantaneous. I mean, Ken was just talking about this. It felt extremely natural and unlike, every movie said you have a little film family. Yeah. But for this, there was something about it. We were against the backdrop of this beautiful country. A lot of us were there for the first time. And it just felt like kind of an extended family reunion, It was, we're best of friends. They're my family.
Yeah, what was the experience like for you, Ken?
Well, first of all, that's the first time you've even made eye contact with me.
Yeah,
so
I know.
I'm glad,
he's really difficult.
Glad you're breaking the ceiling.
Yeah,
on it.
right. Well, whatever.
But it was like the first set that I've been on where I felt more comfortable on a deeper level, on a visceral level, being myself. And this is what Nora said, and without explaining why.
Yeah,
that's
it was
the
never
case.
talked about, which
Yeah.
was the most beautiful thing about that. We were never like, all Asians.
All Asians, isn't this great?
Right.
Have the crab.
Exactly. It was really fun. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I love Ken. I interviewed him so many times for Community. One of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Gino, I understand that you actually talked to almost everybody in this movie, didn't you?
No.
No?
But you're close. I talked to John Chu, the director, and Henry Golding, the star. Now, one thing Bonnie said that I echo a million times is there's a breakout star here who steals every scene, and that is Awkafina.
Yeah.
I think she's incredible. If I were investing in a star's future, I'd put all my money on her because she kind of stole Ocean's 8, and she steals this movie. The thing that bothers me about this whole thing is that we're talking about, oh, it's the first movie with an all-Asian cast.
No, it's not.
You know what? It's a good movie. What? No, in 24 years, 25 years.
Right.
It's a good movie. It shouldn't be
Yeah.
thought of in those terms. It's a good romantic comedy. If you like it, what happens is audience say, okay, it's made for Asian Americans. It's not. It's like an all African American cast when it's not supported by a white audience. No, go see it. Go see this movie. You will enjoy it. Jeff, I'm with you. I think it's great.
Yeah.
And also, Chuck, I wanted to say Awkafina did steal every scene she was in, and I loved her in Ocean's 8. But the thing is, I also think that Nick Santos, who played Uncle Oliver, I thought everything he did too. He stole every scene he could too.
Yeah.
You know, I thought he was fantastic doing that. But I just love Michelle Yeoh. I love the cast in this. I love the sets. I mean, this movie it's a feel-good movie. It is so formulaic, but that's okay because this time the formula really works.
You know, you're right about Awkafina, but every time you bring up another character, I'm like, oh no, that was my favorite character. Oh no, that was my favorite character. But I said this to my wife when we got out of the theater. If Crazy Rich Asians was an HBO weekly series, not only would I watch it every week, it would be my favorite series, and it'd be fantastic. I want to see more. I love these characters. I love this movie. Yes, it was a little predictable, but so much fun. And when was the last time that you had that many characters all together that we can't decide who was the best character?
I want to learn mahjong so I know what the hell was going on.
Yeah,
that
well, I
final
don't.
scene.
I have no idea what was happening
meant something.
there.
It meant something.
Well,
but yeah,
and
what a
Chuck,
good time.
I don't know if you're aware of this. It was going to be a Netflix movie, and the filmmakers did not want it to go to Netflix.
Oh,
they
did not
wanted
know
it to
that.
happen they wanted it to be released by a studio so that people could see it.
They turned down, the Netflix people offered him a fortune. The filmmakers turned it down. And even Henry Golding, who plays the lead, plays Nick Young, wasn't an actor. He was discovered by his manager who said, you know what, you should see this guy. And he was perfect for the part. Stuff a Hollywood legend this movie is.
Yeah, and I cannot say enough great things about this movie. Don't watch the trailer because the trailer gives away. There is actual end scenes of the movie in the trailer. Just
Only you would notice that. Only you would notice that.
And I want to say this. The other thing, Jeff said it earlier, I don't want people to think this is a musical. It's not a Bollywood film. It's not a bunch of musical numbers. But there is music. It is upbeat. It is great. You walk out of there very, very happy.
Yeah, the music ties all the scenes together. They're great transitions. And not only that, the soundtrack is fantastic. It's been a long time since I've let the movie where like, I got to get that soundtrack because a lot of it's in, Chinese covers and everything, but it's just real hip. It's electronic. The movie's really contemporary.
Okay, but if you had to go see The Meg or if you had to go see Crazy Rich Asians, what would you go see?
It's not fair. That's not fair.
I know. I love them. How great is it that we have these great movies? I mean,
I would have to say a second viewing, it would be Crazy Rich Asians probably.
Yeah, because
That's right.
there'd probably be a lot more that you would catch or see or laugh at because there was so many characters that you would that you want to see again and so forth and so forth. And this is also one of those things too that I kept thinking, when was the last time you thought, man, I can't wait for this DVD to come out so that I can see all these deleted scenes or scenes that they had to cut because there was some and we just couldn't get enough of Crazy.
But you know
Rich
what?
Asians.
You need to see it with an audience because I'm telling you, the audience I was with, every time Awkafina had a line, bam, it exploded in laughter. The audience loved her, and that's why you want that group experience.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to go first. Big A+ for me. This movie was fantastic. Loved it. Want to see it again. Can't stress that you need to go out and have a good time. Take your family, take your girlfriends. Well, I don't know if say family. You don't take young kids, but if my wife wanted me to mention that there's plenty of good-looking shirtless men in this movie as well. So I don't know. It's like looking in a mirror for me. So what did you think, Jeff?
I'm gonna change my grade because I forgot that aspect of the film of the shirtless men. No, I'm gonna give it a B. I don't think it's because it's formulaic. But it was still a good time. It's going to be a huge hit. They're going to be doing maybe even a series. That would be. I could totally see this as a series.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a good time.
Well, I agree with you that it was very predictable and it was very formulaic. But I still had a great time. And
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What?
Jeff, you were saying how great it was all the way through, and it's a B? I think it's an A. I think it's that good. And you sounded like it was an A up until you gave it the grade. What didn't you like?
Yeah, what's up, Jeff? Vegas film critic.
I give A's to perfect films, top 10 films. This wasn't a perfect film. This wasn't an A by any means. Very close to it. Just because I had a really good time doesn't mean to give it a perfect score. I'm sorry.
You changed your grade. I can tell you.
Me? I didn't.
I
It's
think.
a B.
Come on, a little bit higher. Come on, you can do it. No?
All right. I'll give it an A. There. You happy?
No, only
There-
if you mean it. Because you were talking
all
about
the people.
Jeff,
all the people in Beaver County are happy now.
I got a
okay?
text from you talking about how much you love this movie, and you were going to give it. And
I
you gave
don't
it a
just
B?
hand out A's though. Ugh. All right, I'll give it an A. I love the film. I really did. But it's not perfect. Stop bullying me. Gosh.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It was a perfect time. It was a perfect time at the movies.
No, there was some slow spots. There was some. No, it wasn't at all. There was some problems with the film and the pacing.
How'd
at
you
times.
like our recurring theme every week? I try to do something with the lower thirds, and I put the big emerald on the lower third this week. I don't know. It's the little things. I don't know. It's just me.
Like during Bonnie's interview, you kept putting C's in her face. That was funny.
By the way, that is just mayhem. That was the machine automatically triggering. I had nothing to do with that.
And you're pushing buttons with your toes. That's why.
So you know something? Honestly, 3 decent movies, a decent movie and some great movies out this weekend. You really can't go wrong with any of these this week. So go out to the movies and have a good time. So I want to thank everybody. Jeff, go ahead, give yourself a plug.
Check out my reviews and interviews on VegasFilmCritic.com. It's all my social media portals, my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. And please communicate. I'd love to hear from you, except Gino.
Yeah. Okay, Gino, give yourself a plug, buddy.
I will. I'm going to review Jeff's shirt next week, but that's a whole nother story. Yes, you can reach me. Watch me at fox6now.com. Also at Movieguy on Twitter and Instagram.
Absolutely. You got, I don't know why. I was talking with Gino, and I'm like, Gino, I'm on your YouTube channel, but you've got the interview with Mark Wahlberg. It's not up. He goes, I don't know if I'm going to put that up. I'm like, I would put that up the second. That was a fantastic interview. I'm going to make it my life's work to get that up there for you if I have to do it myself. So, all right. So, guys, thank you again for being on the podcast. I hope to see you all another time. And we'll look at that. 30 minutes. We did it. All right. See you guys later. Thanks so much.